Welcome back to another episode on the Unfiltered Journey Podcast. I am your host, Will, and I am joined by the amazing Lovely. How we doing today, Love?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. And you know what? I believe what we're going to talk about today is going to change some people.
I think it will stir some pots. I definitely think that. That much I do. I do. But how's your week been going? How are you?
My week has been weeking. It's been a lot of forced adulting that I can't say that I was ready for. But you know what? What better time to do it than the present?
I feel you. I feel you. And today's topic, social
How
media.
was your week? You just gonna interrupt like that? You don't want nobody to know about your week.
Nah, man. I had a hell of a week. It's a long story.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. Um, so yeah. The week has been pretty tough. Pretty tough.
Weekend. Nothing wrong with that.
Listen, I still made some memories, still had some fun, but you know what? It is what it is, so it's all good. It is all good. So we're jumping into today's topic, social media. Before social media, I believe that people lived in moments. They lived in the moment. They were present. They were there. No phones, no cameras, no videos. Nowadays, the people, I feel like they stage everything. Everything has to be set right. The angles, the lighting, even down to the simple props. It's all got to be right. And I think that we all can agree that people are looking happy online, right? But in their off life, it's not the same. They look rich online. They look loved online. So social media has done a lot. Not all bad, but not all good in the same. But behind closed doors, there are a lot of people who are suffering with anxiety, loneliness, and comparisons, and which is an amazing thing because I heard that in my Bible study. We've been talking about how comparisons is the thief of joy, and I feel like social media has a big hand in that. But do you believe social media connected us or quietly destroyed reality?
I'm going to step out from the social media bubble and I'm going to say technology has done the disservice because we still have eyes, we still have discernment, we still have feelings, we have those sixth sense, right? But technology has disconnected us in such a way. Social media was just kind of like the accelerant. You know how when you're grilling and you put the charcoals in there and you got to put down just like a little bit, just a little whatever to get the fire started. I want to say technology was the driver and social media was the car.
Okay. I can dig that. I can dig that because I feel like social media is the reason why things do get damaged, and you need something, to do so. And like social media made everybody visible, right? But not valuable.
Yeah.
And technology is just what you said. It's just the starter in the vehicle. Social media is that bad passenger. I will say it like that. I think it's that passenger driver. That person that we'd be like, shut up.
Social media is that lady, or excuse me, not even gonna say the lady or the man, because I got a thing about minivans. I can't stand them. Okay, anytime you're on a road with a minivan, something's dented in, hanging off. They don't never use their blind spots. They cutting. They in the lane with you. All of that. Okay, social media is the dusty minivan of the road. All right. And you know how when you see somebody with a dusty car, the first thing you say is, that's why your car looked the way it do anyway. Social media. Social media is that dusty minivan with the tape on the tail lights, that dented in fender. I can't really talk too much about a dented in fender because I got one, but let's not go there. Um, it's all of the things. Before the driver even gets in the car itself is jacked up.
Right.
And I feel like people put so much stock in social media that they have forgotten that their eyes can do the work and figure out if somebody is happy or sad. Your eyes can do the work to find out if people are what they really say they are. Your discernment, that muscle has been weakened in everyone, including myself, because there are people and relationships that I've allowed in my life that I would have never allowed in my life if it weren't for social media.
Right.
Yeah, it is done. That and technology have done the biggest disservice to humanity as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I feel like you were touching on it where it's like everybody's watching each other,
Oh yeah.
right? But nobody's seeing each other,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with social media, what it has done is, and the pro side, it's brought everybody relatively close in a sense, right? I can reach you faster. I can see you faster. But I think what you also touched on was the discernment of knowing whether it's actually authentic
Mm-hmm.
or it's not. And that's the amazing thing. And one of the first things I wanted to talk about was the comparison trap. We
Yeah.
watch social media and we watch everybody's timeline. We go on profiles and we see all the glitz and the glamour. And then I feel like a lot of people will look at their own life and measure their life to what they see on social media.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They measure it because they don't know how to manifest, imagine, and bring forth the reality that they want to them. So yeah, for me, I know how to kind of like separate the two a little bit because it's like, okay, hey, I want that. That's the type of life that I want. Let me get in my prayer closet, pray about it. Let me ask, what can I do to bring this to my future? Let me do the work. Let me create the streams of income. The problem with most society is it just stops at the comparison and they're like, guess I'll never have that. And they go back to their lives and they don't do anything to change it. And that's where comparison becomes the problem. Comparison is not a bad thing when you actively work to push yourself towards it.
Right.
If
Yeah.
it will actually make you happy, but when you compare and don't put any work in on you changing your outcome, your circumstances, or just wanting a better life, period, that's when it becomes detrimental.
No, definitely agree with that. It feels like it's a competition. Like it turns it into an unhealthy competition.
You should only be in competition with you, the person you were last year, yesterday, 5 minutes ago. You're not living this life to be or attain anyone else's whatever. Be in competition with making you the best version of you that you want to be. If you're gonna compete with anybody.
Yeah, you know that like there are a lot of people who wake up and the first thing that they do is get on their phone and they start scrolling.
Yeah.
Right? You wake up. How many
Guilty.
people out there can say they woke up happy? They went on social media, scroll for 5 to 10 minutes, and all of a sudden feel like they're so far behind. It's like you know I can't. I don't jump on social media for the first hour of my morning. I just can't. And I don't really feel like I'm comparing myself or competing with anybody anyway because I love my life. But
Yeah.
the thing is that there are a lot of people out here who will automatically. That's how they set their day.
Yeah. And that's wild to me because before you love anything or anyone, you should be in love with yourself. You should want to spend time with yourself.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Or you
And
pick,
that's why it's just right. And then comparison is killing the gratitude in real time.
and that's the horrible part. Because I have to tell people all the time, they're like, I gotta go to work. And I'm like, no, you get to go to work. Uh, I gotta go do this. No, you get to do this because there's people that would pray for your particular set of circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you believe that they're bleak, they are on their knees begging, like, please let me be what such and such is. Let me have what such and such have. And here you are complaining about it. Ungrateful else. Don't be like that.
Yeah, they're comparing what their bloopers are in their life to somebody's highlight reels.
Not knowing.
You know?
Let's talk about it. The blooper might not have just been visible to you.
Yeah.
The blooper could have been 2 seconds before they hit record. Or guess what? Because I added content, guess what? There's a little button. You can swipe, you can tap, you can hit delete, you can cut. All of this stuff is tailored for you.
Right.
Tailor your life outside of social media to the point to where when you do show up, people are like, dang, this life is dope. And then you can actually have the breath and wherewithal to say, yeah, you know what? I prayed for this. This is what I'm grateful for. Versus,
Yep.
Nah, fix that. We don't do that to yourself. Don't do that.
Yeah. Social media's timeline has made like some people's real life feel unsuccessful. And I would hope that people will wake up one day and realize that it's just like TV, right? When you watch what's this new show everybody's talking about, Love Island, and you're talking about, you're watching Love Island and you realize it's a show. You know what I mean? It's really none of it's actually real. You know, it's a show. So people do that. Even me, myself, I love to use social media. I use it for this. I use it for many other things. When people look at my life and they'll go, oh, you know, you're always on vacation. Oh, you're always doing this. But it's like, do you even see the 16 hours that I'm putting in? Do you see the books that I'm reading? Do you see like the times that I don't sleep? You don't see all of that, right? And yeah, I don't have a problem talking about it. I just do it in another format. Right. I have a way to do that. Even this platform that I'm using is a way for people to see the other side. Is to understand that, like, yeah, he may be doing that, but he also has to do all these things. How many problems do he has to solve? Like the things that is going on, right? You know, so it's like, I may not talk to you. What you may see is great, but if you come to me one-on-one, I can tell you for a fact that it's not always like that. You know what I mean? It's not always like that. There's many nights I went to sleep at 3 a.m. because I was working on something. Woke up at 5 to get ready for work, and had to do my day. But I think people don't realize that they need to really sit back with themselves and separate social media and reality.
Yeah, and I think
it's crazy.
It starts with learning to be happy in your present moment, because we go to social media. And we're looking for dopamine. We're looking for those hits, those things that make us smile, those things that make us laugh. And I'll be honest with you, some of that stuff is downright entertaining, okay? I have to go to sleep real early. But Young T and Dre Baby have my sides hurting, okay? I get it. I totally get it. All right? And if I could even say it, I got that feeling. And y'all know what I mean when I say it. But it's... Yeah, everyday mundane it can be boring. We can say that, right? But it's all about you creating the experiences to uplift or upgrade that mundane. And only you have the power to do it. Like I post content, and the first thing I used to say is, oh God, I don't do anything. I don't have nothing to post for nobody. I have loads to post for people. And it don't revolve around me going to the gym. I could go take a walk and tell people how blessed I am to be able to use my legs, look at the sun, show you the beautiful scenery, and enjoy my moment. And guess what? It don't take me about 15 seconds. And after that 15 seconds, because y'all attention spans are short anyway, put that phone right back in my pocket and keep it moving.
Yeah.
You have to fall in love with what you've got going on. And if you don't like what you got going on, change it. And if it takes you maybe not picking up your phone when you first wake up in the morning and when you get off, because that's the first thing we like to do. We not on nobody's clock. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
And
right.
your life
Absolutely
is
right.
a dopamine hit. And when you make your
Yeah.
life a dopamine hit, when you go to post something, they'll be comparing themselves to you. That's
But you
now
said it, right?
that's 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 the cheat code right there. Make your
No,
life the
you
dopamine hit. Fall in love with what you just regularly do. If you don't do nothing but cook asparagus all day long, there's somebody out there will be like, man, dog, they get to cook asparagus all day long in their life. Man, fall in love with it. I'm
yeah.
serious. I'm serious. I love me some asparagus, and if you can find some asparagus frozen cut tips up, it'll bless your life. It'll bless your life.
Well, I'm gonna stay with the fresh ones, and I know they get expensive sometimes, but I'll stay with the fresh
Just a
asparagus.
you know, you want to be on my budget over here, okay?
No, but you're right because everybody is rushing to somewhere that they watch somebody else win early, right? And you said change it, and technology has a way of making you stay in this rabbit hole. So whatever you constantly watch is going to constantly feed you. And in order for that to change, you need to change what you're watching or what you're doing. But ultimately, you have to fall in love with your life. That is the best thing to do is fall in love with your life. And I love my life. No matter what ups and downs I go, like I just lost a week with my daughter, right? Because she has to go back. She starts high school, so she has to do orientation. But for the last 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks that I had her, I'm looking at what we did, right? Like, yeah, we didn't get to go on vacation the way we normally do, but we traveled around, and she's driving now. We're doing the driving stuff now.
Oh Lord.
And I realize I actually have a real teenager because them credit card statements is gonna look crazy.
Shout out to the parents with
But
teenagers, okay? Because yeah,
yeah,
we need a
that's
break.
tough. But yeah, and it's crazy, and that's where it's like with social media. I don't think a lot of people give that side of it. So it's like even then, this whole entire week that we've been doing our vacation stuff, people will see the steak dinner, right? Like we went out to Delmonico's, they'll see that, but they don't know that they canceled our flights not once but twice. So it's like having to sit in the airport all those days. So that's why I said a lot of times people only see the highlights, and it's rightfully so that that's all we want to really show. But the reality behind that is that this is what we had to experience,
Mhm.
right? And I still made it something, right? I didn't go cry and be like, oh my God, I wish I had a private jet so I could have just flew myself out. We made the best out of it. We went to Boston, we went to Rhode Island, we stayed out in the city 2 nights. We went to go see my brother in Delaware. Like, so we made the best out of everything that we did. And that's the part that I love the most is that we still created the memories. Now, I'm still gonna find me an island to
Hey,
be on.
got
But
with
that's
the
what I'm saying.
motherfucking
Like,
singing.
yeah, I definitely agree with the fact that people really got to fall in love with their life and stop the comparison trap. And I think that's what it is. People go on vacation and spend most of their times on vacation looking for the perfect light, looking for the perfect shot. Just love the life, be in the moment. Like, it'll
It's
be there,
easier though. It's easier to do comparison. Those neural pathways are already set in your brain. It is
Mhm.
so much easier for thoughts, neurons, and juices that your brain produces and all that other good stuff. It's easy because that's already created. It is
Right.
hard to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop this and I'm going to go this way because your mind and your body and your brain are like set up to like, hey, no, we like what's familiar. What's familiar is
Exactly.
this. So I want to do this. Do you know how hard it is to keep a high thought about yourself when you're competing against your unconscious mind?
It's tough.
It's it's the hardest thing in the world.
It's tough. Yeah.
And I get why people default for what's comfortable. And I think that's a little bit why, as a society, rage gets rewarded. Cause you heard who I said about earlier. Dre may be on there chomping them down. Rage gets, it'll be like 17,000 people in that room.
Yeah.
Rage
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
rewarded, and all of this other stuff, it's just like, oh, it's too positive. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like, no, create a new path for yourself
Right.
and see how your body responds to it. Because a lot of people don't understand when we're doing all this comparison, your body keeps score. It keeps count. It feels every negative thing. That's why you got to keep a high thought. You got to speak a high thought. Because if you don't do those things, you'll sit in comparison, lowliness, loneliness, and all those other things for the rest of your life until you do something to change it.
Yeah, you got to change your habits, and there's many ways to do it. We just got to be committed to it. So I would love to tell people just stay out of that comparison trap.
Hard,
Social
especially,
media is ruining reality,
yeah.
relationships.
Oh, goodness. Especially if you let it. If you don't have an independent mind and you ready to go with the flow, oh, yeah. Because I got access to A, B, and C. And I wouldn't have access to A, B, and C in my regular life if they knew the truth.
Yeah,
This little
yeah.
tailored view that they get to see, oh, I'm the bee's knees. And I got all these on me. Shoot, I got my pick. What you mean? It's a line. Stop holding it up. And it's like, come on, chill, bro, chill.
No, you're absolutely right. Because like I think that what people tend to think, especially with social media, is that they have all these options, right? And those options they don't realize or want to understand that that's very little commitment. They
Oh,
see you in the moment.
yeah.
Right, they like the picture because the woman has a great silhouette. They like the picture because the man has the abs and the chest and so they like the pictures because of whatever, and then it creates this false sense of I have options, so if you don't get it together then I can go over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's a weird thing because I feel like people aren't dating humans anymore. Like
Mm-mm.
they're dating profile pictures.
Oh, yeah. Because the minute they get a glimpse of the real you, it's like, ooh, maybe that might be too much work.
Hmm.
Ooh, no, she's this or no, he that. Oh, no. And it's like, well, they could have been all that when you asked for their number. Why are you wasting people's time? Why are you doing that? Stop playing around with people and their feelings. Don't do that.
Well, well, you know why, right? Because people want relationship goals without relationship work.
Because relationship work is hard.
Hmm.
And all these smooth brained individuals don't like hard work. Hello? They don't
Yeah,
like that because hard work creates new tunnels and new ways for you to learn. Learning for a lot of people at this big adult age is not something that they're interested in doing. They're very comfortable in being whatever they are and showing the version of themselves, and to have to work around it or heck to even trust someone beside themselves.
yeah, but when you look at social media and how it affects relationships, it's you have all of, and this is no disrespect to any influencer or person who is making content.
Mhm.
You hear a lot of if they're not willing to do this, like the what's that one saying? Oh, if he wanted to, he would,
Right.
or happy wife, happy life, and it's like these narratives that's being put out there get stuck in people's brains and don't realize that real work has to go into relationships. Like we
Yeah.
have to go through seasons. We have to understand that not everything is going to be spring and summer because that's what social media is presenting to people. If your relationship is not spring and summer, it's not worth it. Get rid of that man, get rid of that woman. It's like, really? What are we talking about here? And there are people who really take hold to that.
I feel like that's just the culture of people now. Because I remember back in the day, if something was broke, you went somewhere and fixed it.
Hmm.
Like I grew up with seamstresses and shoe shops and vacuum shops and computer repair and things of that sort. And if you look around in your world now, a lot of that stuff doesn't exist anymore. Like I remember you could go and completely mess up a dress. Completely. Take it down the street to Miss Darlene at the cleaners. Miss Darlene would fix your dress and make it better. Take a couple tacks out so it fits you right, and then you ain't have to go buy no new dress.
Right.
Nobody wants to wait for the fix.
Nope.
'Cause waiting for the fix requires patience. And with these short attention spans, don't nobody got patience for nothing.
Well, because social media has made it to where
Yeah.
perfection in your relationship is the only option. Like
Mm.
everything has to be perfect.
Mm.
And then with the oxymoron of that is saying that when certain things go another way, they got to give the grace. Like it's so confusing with social media and relationships, and I don't understand why people think that it's okay. Like even now, this DM culture, it's been normalized, right? It's like social media has made loyalty look boring. You got to have a roster, so men could slide into DMs and girls slide into. I don't think do women slide into DMs?
Ladies definitely slide in the DMs.
They do.
They
That's tough.
definitely do.
I didn't. I know men do it, and I will be honest with you. For the first time, I want to say like 2 months ago, I actually slid into somebody's DM.
Ooh,
I
let's
did.
go.
I did. It was kind of weird and nerve wracking for me to do that. But
Yeah.
then like I realized like how many men do that on a regular basis, like with not with the good intention, because they saw what they like and they want what they want, and that's that.
Oh, it's not. There are some where it's just like OD, but it's not as many as you would think anymore because a lot of men are starting to get to the place where they are afraid of rejection.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that linger in the air for a little bit because I know if you're watching, you talking stuff behind that screen. Y'all afraid of rejection, and women are too, but more so men. They not okay with the rejection. So I've kind of seen a decline in DMs being absolutely crazy if they're not just straight up objectifying a woman because of something that they saw.
No, it's just 9 times out of 10 they got better with it how they word it. So it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different
now. Yeah, but women
because
they do.
I've seen a lot of content come out, especially over like the last like week or two, where they were taking like screenshots of how people slid into DMs and the things that they're saying is very different. Like I'm like, no lie. I'm like, that's pretty clever. The way he kind of came up with it is pretty clever.
What's the woman or the man?
It's a man talking to a woman. Like she's in a relationship and she's entertaining that. But again, and this is where I'm like, it doesn't make any sense, because if you're in a relationship and a man slides into your DMs, and there are a lot of women that we got to give credit to who will not open those DMs. Got to give those women credit. But there are women who open DMs who are not in who are in relationships and just don't think that that's cheating. That's emotional cheating.
You know what? I open them, and the first thing I say is like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm not single."
Dang, but that's opening the door.
I wasn't gonna ask you out. Okay, you don't have to. I just want to let you know I'm not single. Block.
Yeah, but then like people would say then there was no point of opening it.
Oh,
but there are people who open it for the purpose of
if you want me to open it. That's like saying
in relationships though.
Mm-hmm.
In relationships, do you feel like it should be opened?
Absolutely. If it's sent to you, you can open it and see what they said, and you can let them know, respectfully no, and keep it moving. It's the ones that respectfully know and we can be friends. Oh, okay, yeah, I can have friends. That's when the door is open. But if I physically say, hey, nah, don't worry about that, big dog, you got it. I'm holler at you. I don't feel like that's a problem. That's just me though. That's just me though.
But you said something that where a lot of men will lay their hats on, where they will stand on that hill and go, oh yeah, that's the problem. They open the DM and they continue the conversation. So again, they're gonna say it is emotional. It is an emotional cheating, and which I have to agree with, because again, men are natural hunters. We know what we know. We're not dumb. We're not gonna play that game. So if I know she has a man and I'm gonna sit here and pretend that I can be better than her man, knowing that I know I'm not, I'm just a dog, I'm gonna slide in that DM. If she give me that conversation, then that lets me know, oh, I could take the collar off and I can get crazy.
Now with me,
That's what happens. Unfortunately,
nah,
that's what happens.
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Them loose-legged chicks y'all be talking to. All
Who's
right?
y'all?
No.
Who's y'all? Who is y'all?
That's not me. No, but seriously, I shut it down. Hey, I'm not single. You don't need to know where I'm from. We ain't got to be friends. I'm not single. Have a good day.
But that's also the other thing for me where I know my intentions. So
Yeah.
for me, like with relationships, and I was just talking about this with my therapist, I'm like, I still want to get married. You know what I mean? Like I want to get married again. I
Yeah.
want to have an actual relationship. And I know that like I approach relationships with full intention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm human. We're human. We all make mistakes or whatever. But with the way social media has kind of infiltrated relationships or
Mm-hmm.
people's mindset on relationships,
Mm-hmm.
it would even, for my mind, it would even make it that hard for me to want to slide into somebody's DM because their mindset is going to be like, what do you really want from me? And then make it harder for me to even feel like I'm actually having a connection with you.
And it really takes you to get to know the person. And so for me, I would say for some men, their thought is immediately, I see it, I gotta have it. Let me slide in them DMs. Nah, learn a little bit
All
before
right.
you slide in them DMs, because that thing could be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you don't know it yet. You just see what you like. Find out first.
Yeah.
Just and this is another thing that I think people have a issue with, and I'm gonna agree, I have it myself. Vet these folks. Social media is taking the vetting process out of people having, people being in your life and people that you want to intertwine and make relationship with. It is taking the vetting process down to nil, basically. Vet these folks for you sliding their DMs. Vet them. And I ain't talking about asking questions. Just sit and listen.
All right.
That patience that we don't have. Because remember, we see something we like, we got to slide into them DMs today. Nah, big dog. Be anxious for nothing. Ain't that what the word said? Sit
Yeah.
and
No.
listen. You can learn so much without even saying a word.
That's true. That is true. That is true. And it's crazy because then like, you know what I also think is that like when we go live and stuff like that,
Mm,
some people will say flirting is entertainment and call it networking.
mm. There's a fine line, and the line is bright red between networking and flirting. And I
Mm.
kind of feel like what what severs the line is professionalism. If you know professionalism, that flirting, it's out of there.
Yeah.
It's out of there. You know my intentions. Like, oh no, yeah, let's do business. Let's do this. But if you flirt in the network, that's a mm, I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I've never.
But that
Go ahead, say what you was gonna say.
but that's what social media has normalized though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What okay, so here's a question.
Okay.
If a woman posts something, and I'm gonna go into a few different lanes right now, right?
Okay.
So let's say a woman posts something on social media.
Yeah.
She's in the gym. She
Yeah.
has her yoga pants on, whatever, right? You know, we all know most men objectify that, right?
Oh yeah.
What would be the equivalent for a man to post to get the same attention that a woman does, right? Now, if we're on live, if we're on Instagram live, TikTok live, whatever it is,
Okay.
and a man is flirting with a woman, and we go, well, I'm just trying to get this deal going on, and a woman flirts with a man and says the same thing. Do you firmly believe that it's acceptable?
No.
Okay. And do you know that social media norms has made it acceptable?
Maybe because I don't do it myself, I don't identify with it. But what I can say is I've witnessed it.
Right.
And in witnessing it, the comments kind of egged it on like, oh, snap, oh, snap. And there's that hidden element that we were talking about of, knowing people's intentions, knowing what's going on in the background, knowing what's really going on in their life that we don't get to see.
Right.
So a lot of it, I'm gonna say it ain't really your business, not unless that person is your person.
Well, that's what most of it is that when people are in relationships, and there are some people, again, this is not for everybody, so I love how people try to change words around, but there are some people who will say that they're just trying to network even though it's flirting.
Yeah, no. A thing is always going to be a thing, no matter what somebody calls that thing. All right.
Yeah.
And and that's up to you to kind of know your person, because a duck is always going to be a duck. A zebra is always going to have stripes. A Dalmatian is always going to have spots. It's just about when those things are revealed to you, what you do with the information that you have.
She's saying, people, stop letting social media run your relationships and giving
Hello?
you the guidelines, because it's not helping.
It's not.
It's really not helping.
Because my thing is,
you
outside
people say they, right.
You better, hey, excuse you, come here. Hey, I don't like that. You keep doing that. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can't have that communication with your person, that ain't your what Steve Harvey say? That ain't your man. That ain't your man. That ain't your
No,
girl.
that's absolutely true.
That's a lot of people get enraged at what they see online and argument. No. We need to talk. We need to have a real heart to heart. I need to be able to express my feelings to you and say, hey, listen, this right here is not something that I am comfortable with. If this is something that you are going to continue to do, you need to be okay with saying, hey, this is done. I don't align with that. I'm gonna holler at you later, big dog.
Yeah. But you know what? Again, this is part of where social media goes and says that certain things are right, independent on who people listen to, because there's a lot of people out there with some great information. One, I'll tell you like this. This one lady I followed for a while, and she kind of helped me get through a lot of like what I was experiencing when I felt like social media and other things was like taking over a relationship I was having. Her name is Kitty Rose. And she amazing, right? There's a lot of things that she said about relationships, and she's very spiritual, which I respect and everything like that. And it helped out a lot. So it really depends on who you're listening to on these platforms, because it does, even at this big old age, shape the way we look at things, and we're influenced by it. This is the reason why they're called influencers. So whoever we're listening to, whoever we're following, is going to determine and dictate like how we move in our relationships and justify the poor behaviors in which we're going through. But it's amazing that how much power social media has had in relationships.
It has so much of a stronghold on us that when it comes down to influence, we won't even listen to how we really feel before we go do something somebody said that we should do.
Right.
That's why
you're absolutely right.
To take that time in the morning before you pick up your phone with yourself, or when you get off work, spend some time with yourself. It's all about protecting your ear and eye gate and about what you let in. And being more comfortable with self doesn't let social media get to the point to where it can ruin your reality or your life.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, how many people do you see smile online and cry in private?
Whew. But then, on the other hand, there's a lot of people crying online too. Let's talk about that. And the people that's crying,
I feel like
is a facade too.
Yeah, that's And so if that's not so much more of a manipulation tactic for
Okay.
attention, which is where we're going, which is what I wanted to kind of go into, because social media is the theme for today, where that is creating attention, that is validation
Mm,
for things that is not necessarily right.
mm,
So it's like validation has become addictive. People measure like their self-worth through views and likes. They measure it through this skewed stories that they tell so they can get the validating information back to them so they can be like, I knew I was right. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And it's like everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be known. Like just see me and see all that, but nobody wants to be known.
And you want to know why validation is such a thing? It's becoming currency.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these businesses pay actual USD, pound, whatever, they pay currency for your attention. The validation that you get from people online becomes your currency.
All right.
When did that become a thing?
That well, that's the main thing, and that's why even in relationships, when people are getting validations outside of their partner, it
Mhm.
gives them this ulterior thought of, wait a minute, I can get better. At what cost, though?
Oh, and by the
So
time
you're gonna
the cost, it's too late.
right, exactly. So it's like, at what cost are you getting better? And that just didn't make any sense. And it's like, and throughout the life of social media, and as it's grown and has it's changed people's lives and mindsets, it's like the internet gave people access with no accountability,
Ooh,
right? So you think about like this invisible thing really has shaped people's lives and minds.
absolutely.
This is a new form of a teacher.
Hmm.
And as you touched on it earlier, however we go about life on social media, that algorithm will feed it right back to us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it will drive us so deep into a rabbit hole, we don't know how to get out. And
I
then
tell
that
you
becomes
how
the
you get out.
mindset.
I tell you how you get out. Put your phone down. Put your phone down.
You say that the phone is like the crack in the 80s, right? They
Oh,
can't do it that easy.
what?
They can't do it that easy.
Let me tell you,
It's not that simple.
it isn't that simple, which is what we've kind of been talking about how none of the new ways of which to get yourself out of all of this would be simple.
Right.
It's not. I'm gonna agree with you. Hello, I was on live the other day with my phone in my hand. Conversation going in the room. I'm scrolling. I checked out. Hello, I get it.
Yeah.
But if it's getting to a place where you are too far down that rabbit hole and you don't know how to get help or anything else like that, the first place that you seek help is within yourself. Put that phone down. Take a walk outside. Or what do the kids say now? Go touch some grass.
Hey, 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 hey. I'll be touching some grass
You be you
now.
be you be touching premium grass, my guy. Okay?
I'll be touching some grass now.
You be touching grass. So the only thing I would say is you're not getting the correct amount of grounding because you still got that rubber sole in between,
Yeah.
yourself and the grass. You got to remove that conduit and get the actual energy from the earth, my friend. Okay, take off your
Yes,
shoes next
yes. Yeah, no, you're right.
time.
But
Okay.
you said it, like that piece is social media is affecting people's mental health,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like it's really affecting their mental health. And it's like, I personally think like depression can hide behind the perfect selfie,
Oh,
because it's like we don't know what happens when this phone goes off,
oh no. Not even a
and
little
and
bit.
how depressed people can be, and the things that they're dealing with when they're feeling like there's no way out. But
Yeah.
this tool that we've been given and how it's supposed to bring us closer together has kind of somewhat put a wedge in between us. It started
Oh,
to create this distance, not just socially but economically,
yeah.
mentally. Like it starts to create this gap. And it's like, how do we close that gap? And yes, it's like, let's put the phone down and let's really start living our lives. But then what happens? and they feel like they don't have anybody to give it to. But
Why do
there's
you
healthier ways to do that.
Why do you need to give it to anybody?
Some people
We
feel that
only
way.
get to live this version of what we call life to our knowledge and everyone else's conscious knowledge one time.
Hmm.
Live every day, you die once. But this version of what you call life, existence, whatever, you only get to live it once. Why you gotta why do you need outside validation?
Because, like you said, validation is currency. Validation allows people to escape accountability.
I'm sorry.
Validation is that friend in the room that
Mm-hmm.
says, "I know you're doing wrong, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear."
Now I can rock with you on
Right?
that. Yeah.
So it's like, how many times we can scroll and
Mm-hmm.
go, people are talking about, "I'm gonna protect my peace," but then they're stalking their ex for hours.
You know, don't get me talking about the brain and how it,
Okay,
okay? Because we could
so
be
it's
here
it's,
for
it's weird.
days.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing, like how it plays itself out, and that's why I was like, yeah, social media really is running reality because people are not looking at the difference between what's real and what's staged anymore. It's all
Mhm.
meshed in together. Even to the point of like friendships and fake connections. It's like you can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna live off the fact that I got 6,982 followers. Okay.
You're not even getting paid
I
off that, big dog.
I
Like, get out
I
of here.
cannot call those people at 3 in the morning if something happens.
Right, right.
Not one.
The phone number of some. You can't call them.
Yeah. Tell
Because
me
all
how
they
many you
say is,
can call.
man, that's crazy. Wow. And guess what they're gonna do? Girl, let me tell you, woo, and post it for their own validation currency.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like people getting more followers but less trust. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's just like, are you, and do you feel like people are becoming less authentic?
Oh,
I personally believe that they are.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because guess what? Once I turn this phone off, they don't know what's really going on. I can make any life I want. And as much as these people out here create fallacies and stuff like that, y'all need to be writing books. That's what y'all need to be doing. Because y'all make the most lavish whatevers and could be living in a cardboard box and wouldn't nobody know it.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's like everybody's connected, but nobody's like understood.
Mm-mm. Because understanding takes time. Understanding takes effort. I gotta wanna understand.
Mhm.
No, and even if you wanna understand, it's what do they call that person that you first meet? What are they? When you meet someone,
So, an associate?
no, not that. They're wearing their mask. They're
They're representative.
there we go. You meet that representative.
Hmm.
You meet that representative. Whole time behind the scenes that you don't know of, you sit here thinking, oh la la la, I got friends. Whole time they're like, what?
Yeah.
I think this gonna work
Yeah.
out. And you're like, oh my
Hmm.
God, why did they switch up? Because they was there, it was like that all the time.
No, you're right.
Going back to that vetting process, it was there all the time. You just put your blinders on, whole time they looking at you. All three eyes. No, I don't think this gonna work. No, I'm gonna get what I can get. I'm a shine off what I can shine off, you know, so people can say, oh yeah, they saw me with such and such. Whole time, you in love in La La Land somewhere.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
The next level. Don't wear them rose-colored glasses. Sit and listen, observe, watch, learn some things off of some people. Before it's just like, oh yeah, I want that life. No, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
You don't want that
Yeah.
validation because that validation comes
Yeah.
from a lot of stuff that you can't pay for.
So like, it's crazy that you say that because I think that social media has given people the tools to be able to put on that mask a little bit better.
Oh, absolutely.
And then when it really does fall, I feel bad for the people on the other side.
You know what? When it falls, feel bad for the people on the other side. But then here's the thing you got to worry about mentally. What does that do? Don't nobody think to come back and check on that.
I can tell you what it
2
does.
years keep up a lie. 2 years keep up a lie.
I can tell you
And I
what
say,
it
hey,
does.
listen, I know you lying. You know you lying. It's okay. I'm not lying. What do you mean? I love you. All right, Doc. All right.
Yeah. No. It does a lot to a person, especially when that mask really falls off and that making some power moves, I see, huh?
Just a little. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I do what I can.
do you feel like people post memories or validation?
Both. And when I see memories of people, ooh, I was about to get yourself together. And when I see memories of people, I feel more connected to the memories because that is coming from a far more authentic place than the stuff they post for validation. Because there are people that I've known for years. I do not know their families, didn't know they had siblings, and never met their mama, never met their daddy. The minute they post a memory, it's like, oh, shoot, I'm learning something more about my friend that I should know.
Yeah.
That I don't. Yeah, I feel like memory is the more authentic version of what people post. And I that's what I like looking at. I love looking at people's memories. I love seeing them reminisce on their families or a time when things were different. And I like to encourage people like, hey, you can get back to that. More
Yeah.
so than their validation posts of them always looking good or going out. I got one friend that only posts when they makeup done. What's
Yeah.
wrong with the bones underneath all that, babe?
Yeah.
Are you still
But
fire
that
without
but
it? Like,
because that validation, that attention feeds something to their ego. It feeds something to
yeah,
the persona in which it like gives them some sort of like power. You know
mm,
what I mean? To know that, oh my God, look at me, I post like this, or like I'm not the most fittest person in the world, but and no shade to anybody who's in the gym. I do what I'm supposed to do to keep healthy, but there are people who literally do it for that purpose.
mm.
They do it to be validated. Like, oh, you should be happy with your body in private. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's a
I'll be
different
happy with
thing.
my body in public. Rolls.
No, no, yeah, no. But what I'm saying is that like some people post it. They post up their pictures. They post up those things for validation. They're
Yeah,
posting them to be seen. They're posting them to get some sort of feed off the timeline. You know what I mean? And it's like
yeah.
for me, it's like I'm sorry, I look good all the time. When I dress, I always put it on. I always do it
Hey,
together. So if
hey,
it seems like it's validation, I'm sorry. I am who I am. My grandma
hey,
ain't raised no fool. I
ain't
do what I do. But I
do.
will tell you, I have a hard time getting my daughter to take pictures. And when I can get her to take some pictures, I take a lot.
But you
Like,
know what? It speaks a lot to like what the standard is for beauty nowadays.
oh, oh yeah.
And this is
Let's
a
see.
whole another conversation because you know these voluptuous bodies that we have.
Hmm.
If it don't look a certain way, it don't get pushed.
Exactly.
And then
I
you
don't.
have the a man corner like, ooh, ah, baby, that look good. Wish I could have some of that. But then they in the background talking about some, I like chubby girls. Liar. So then if you post your body out there and people don't like it, then that automatically puts a damper on the sense you have of self. Why? Can I cut?
because because it's been given this automatic power that the standard is dictated by social media.
I can cuss here, right? Because we unfiltered, right?
You can cuss all you want.
That standard. I've been saying fuck that
Like,
thing all week. And today is fuck that standard. The
yeah,
standard is, hey, I bought a polka dot dress and I look cute in my polka dot dress, and I'm a polka dot it all up and down this timeline. If I got to post for validation, but if I don't, while I'm in the world and I'm walking around, the validation, if you need it, is gonna be that older black lady that says, "Okay, polka dots." Let that be the you know, the battery that you put in your back, and you be like, "Yeah, I was doing that." Let that be it.
well, you gotta get a lot of people to stand behind that, and sometimes they're
Yeah.
ashamed to stand behind that. And it's crazy because I know some people that like women on the chunkier side. I mean, I don't like mine's too skinny. I like mine's with some meat on it, and I'm a vegetarian, but it is what it is. But social media has kind of dictated that for years. Social media has dictated that for years. TV has dictated that for
Yeah,
years. What they modeled as the family mom on these TV shows. They were
yeah.
slender. None of them were on the bigger side. I think the first one that I seen that was on the bigger side was Roseanne.
Mm, Thea. You remember that show? That first show that Brandy was on? It was called Thea. You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was a chick. It was a thick mama.
yeah.
Thea had them things calling. The
But
Parker.
the part, yeah, that came in the '90s. Yeah. So when you started to do that, it was like it
Mm-hmm.
started to change, but I don't think it took a hold to it.
And no, it didn't.
And even though like we see it now, so at some corner of social media there are this, we do love, the big beautiful women, we do love the chunky women. There is that corner. Is it being pushed out like the other part is?
Absolutely not.
No, no.
Absolutely not. And even if it is being pushed, it's pushed by the people that use it as a fetish.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to get me on that soapbox.
Oh, we're gonna get there one day. Don't worry about
Hey,
that.
for a whole nother hour. You don't want that.
But it's crazy because it's like it really did. Social really did turn people's private lives into a public performance. You know, even down to how they live their life, to how they look, to how they think, to how they move.
Mm. I just wish that, and I tell my son this all the time, I just wish that following your own wave and just being your own authentic and true and full self was the standard that everybody was all right with. Because I grew up in a time where, yeah, if you was different, you got made fun of. But now those people that were different, they're millionaires now because they capitalize off being themselves.
You are absolutely right.
They made the abstract art. They did the abstract fashion. They had weird and big ideas. And those weird and big ideas were picked up, purchased, all that other good stuff. And now they somewhere living their best life because they were not afraid to be their authentic self. And that right there should be the biggest indication of validation in currency.
You're absolutely right. But again, social media has changed reality.
Ruined it. I'll never forgive you. I'll
Yeah.
never forgive you.
It's so funny. I was thinking about it as we were getting ready for this episode, and I started to write a letter to social media.
Ooh, your letters are really good.
Because we do, as we're growing as influencers and the ones that's already established, we do owe a debt of truth to people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to realize that, like, we're looking at people, validation, all this is currency. And the more that we feed people these things that can be detrimental to their mental, to their mental health, to their social health, to their economic health, we also have to step back and go, hey, you know what? we need to take ownership of what's happening here. You
Absolutely.
know, the standards of what women should look like or what men should look like or how relationships should go. It's made people impatient with life, with love, with growth. Like it really has,
It's
you
broken
know?
families, just like crack in the 80s did. And those drug dealers that was out doing what they did, the debt that they owed, they either gave it with their life or they're in jail right now. So if they
So
had to pay a debt, hello, you with the phone? So do you. How do you choose to pay?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't have to be necessarily anything malicious. It's just take ownership of what we're putting out.
Yeah,
Understand that what we're doing is contributing to somebody's life. It's contributing to what we put out into the universe and how that's going to be perceived. And then we have to understand that as people, we stop experiencing life and started documenting it. It just doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't. And that's why I'm glad certain places where you go now, they're like, hey, give me that phone. Let me zip it up in this bag and you'll get it when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
They're forcing people to experience. They're forcing people not to just have a moment.
Right.
As much as I love my little bookie, but she's purple. I love her. I have to say, I'm glad they're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing it. Because if anybody should be, like you said, they owe kind of like a debt to whatever. If anybody should do it, it should be the people who have enough influence to have money to have you paid to go out to a show to say, hey, listen, let me sever the cord. Let me break the line. You're gonna sit and enjoy me.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in this moment. And do you know how many people, maybe not all of them, but how many people have never had to do that? And so either they spend those moments in that show saying, oh, I had a really good time without my phone, or I couldn't have my phone. I couldn't get nothing. It was this, it was that. Do you know that's how they be?
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Listen, that's exactly how people are. It's
But
crazy.
I feel like when we're talking about, them kind of owing, yeah, you broke it, you fix it, you buy it. You broke it, you bought it. Now fix it.
And which is part of the reason why creating this platform was to just be real with people.
Yeah.
Listen, if we make it to, by the way, you should subscribe, to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Make
Yeah.
sure you follow all of our
Mhm.
platforms. But
Coming back.
the purpose of this platform was to just have real conversations with people.
Yeah.
Like have real dialogue. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm still trying to figure out life myself. I'm still trying to figure out how to maneuver around with certain things. So and that's why I appreciate this and I appreciate your viewpoint as well, because it just gives an authenticity that I think that we're missing in today's life.
Yeah. And I appreciate you for creating the platform to make it happen.
But
Yeah.
before we close it out, what do you have to tell the people? Anything that you want to tell them in specific before we close this out?
Keep a high thought. Have reflective moments all day, not just once a day. Have reflective moments all day. Take time to become 1% better and write your vision down. And every chance you get, you go back to that list and see what you've done to knock something off that list. Daily, quarterly, monthly, whatever frequency you need. But the oneness is on you to create the type of life that you want and not anybody else that you observe. Take those reflective moments and those high thoughts and pour them into you over and over and over until your brain says, hey, you know what? I am that. I'm going to be that. And this is what I'm doing to get there. That's what I got.
I love that. I love that so much. I think for people watching this and listening, and my goal is not to change your mind on social media, right? My goal is not to make you disappear from social media, but I think we touched on it today. I think our goal is to have you live in real life, not in the one that's built on performance.
Ooh,
So, I really hope that people I know they heard a lot today, and I know that we talked about relationships and mental health and
yes.
friendships and fake connections, but the baseline of it is we have a real life. That was a lot. uh, no, but it was just like understanding, like, I really don't want people to disappear from social media. Social media has a lot of pros to it. It actually connects us, but we have to learn the difference between what reality and what fiction is, and we have to learn how to live in our real life. So I really hope that what we talked about today changes some people's perception on how they approach social media. Listen, we don't have a knock on it. We use it, and we're trying to use it for the best of our abilities. And again, to the influencers out there, I know you don't know me. You could probably care less about what I say, but we owe something to the people to have them understand that what's going on is really affecting them in all areas of their life. And maybe we should take a moment to really reflect on that and talk to the people. But, this is the Unfiltered Journey podcast. I got the amazing, lovely, I myself am Will. Make sure you stay grounded, stay honest, stay real. Join us next week. We'll be back here with another episode. Join us on all social media platforms as we continue to have some great conversations. This Sunday, we will be talking about music. I really want to talk about music. There was something I was listening to.
Ew.
So join us on TikTok at 6 o'clock p.m. Follow us on TikTok, The Unfiltered Journey Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, The Unfiltered Journey Podcast. You'll see all of our social medias there. Definitely follow all of that. We keep it real, we keep it honest, and we keep it grounded. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.